What's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. I'm Ron, and it is finally here. The NFL draft is all over. I have spent the last 4 hours updating all of the spreadsheets, all of the draft capital, making rookie rankings. By the way, my top 48. I went through 101 through 412, tiered them, have the updated RS grades and everything. That is on Patreon, patreon.com/Ron Stewart. The RS grades are already out for all the drafted players, are already in my database, but I have guys like Jake Hayner, I think, that weren't in the RS grade, so I'm going to go input them in tomorrow, get everything finalized in there. But we already have top 48 rookie rankings. They're subject to change. I figured we'd hop on here, I'd use them, we'd do some rookie mocks, and just kind of see where everybody's at. Let's just see, let's put it all on the table, see what's what. There's no ADP out there, and just draft these teams kind of just from memory. So I'm actually just going to pull up my rankings on my phone here. I just have like a screenshot of that spreadsheet just so I can go off and sort of check things off. But how is everybody doing? How are we? How do we feel about the draft? It has been a long weekend for the boy. How are we? And have even more work to get through tomorrow, to be honest. We got Genji in here saying good draft before things have even gone through. Let's get the comments where they should be. We got 50 people in here already. Fellas, make sure you like the stream. We're going to be running probably a few rookie mocks, maybe 2, 3, 4, something in that area. We got 10 Minute in here saying I'm wrong. We got Evan, what's going on? How high should the tight ends go in a 1-point tight end premium league? Pretty damn high. Welcome back to the basement, Amron. That's my line. What else we got? We got Special Grade. We got Pigeon 30. What's going on? We got Carrie in here. The rankings look good. Thank you, brother. They're still not locked in, you know what I mean? I'm going to look them over tomorrow, do some tweaks, but I think they look pretty solid for where we're at this point. We got Nathan in here. We got Chandler in here, true OG. Marco. Sharps or A-Chain. Give me Sharps, just second round draft capital. Ken Walker, owners in shambles. Yeah, dude, it's not great. And I have to say, 110 through mid-seconds, not looking great. So let me hop on Sleeper real quick, get a mock draft going. I'm happy all of you guys are in here. Again, just finished the Dynasty rookie rankings. They are fresh off the press. I believe I have a link to the Patreon in the live chat. Here we go. Let's get a mock draft going. But how do we feel overall, fellas? How do we feel? I think the top end of this class is as strong as advertised. We have, 101 through 106 are all guys I'd probably have in the first 3 rounds of a startup. So, 101 through 106, you're looking amazing, but I think 107 through 109 is probably okay too, but then, goddamn, 110 on, it falls off an absolute cliff. So we're going to do a linear, 2 quarterback, 12 teams. We'll do 4 rounds. Wow, shout out Sleeper for already having some of these landing spots hooked up. All right, so let me drop the Sleeper link in the chat, and then I'll worry about getting things to look right. We got Boots in here. What's going on, brother? That's a name I haven't seen in a little bit. Also, feel free to drop questions, too. I'm going to get around to questions and stuff. Let me just get things set up a little bit. We'll put me down here. What's our screen at? 110 already? Okay, fine. Oh! Getting exposed here for my messy desktop. Please. Nobody look at that or acknowledge how messy that was. I dropped the rookie mock link in the chat. Boom. Does this look good? I think it does, probably, right? That probably does us about right. What do we do with Walker, Ron? Would you sell for the 107? Would I sell Kenneth Walker for the 107? It's a good question. I'd have to sit down and really look, man. I'd have to sit down and really look. But what, 107, we're probably looking at Quentin Johnson and stuff. I probably wouldn't sell for the 107 straight up, but I think it's about even, to be honest. Draft was a bit disappointing. I think day 1 was amazing, right? 12th overall pick running back is pretty sweet, but then past that, goddamn. Day 2 started off great, then just took a nosedive. Draft doesn't feel nearly as deep as we thought. Yeah, I agree. It sucks. Yeah, Pierce came away very nice this draft weekend. All right, so I mean, we got everybody in here. I got everybody in here. All right, let's fire one of these up, huh? And just kind of see what happens on the board. Let's just see. Let's just put it all out there. There's no consensus. Boom. So I got the 109. So that's honestly, jeez, not the sound noise, not the loud noise for everybody to hear. Yeah, so much for a deep running back class. Yeah, man, we didn't even have Sean Tucker get drafted. I feel like there are a couple guys that we were pulling for to get drafted that didn't get drafted. I'm trying to think. It was Sean Tucker's the big one. Xavier Hutchinson not even get drafted? I know that he has like a hive of people that really likes him. Oh yeah, by the way, the Superflex tight end premium, I have it like up here just so everybody's on the same page. Hey, we're saying the rankings looking clean and organized. Let's go. Let's go. Should I be worried about Bigsby as a ETN owner? No. Bigsby, like, round 3 to the Jaguars is fine. Like, he was, it was probably a pipe dream that he was going to go somewhere and be the top dog. But we have Bijan, Bryce Young, Richardson, Gibbs, Stroud. That's probably about, where I would have it. I have Gibbs ahead of Stroud myself. And then I'm put in, like, the worst position possible at the 109. Or not the worst position possible, but you guys took all the good players. To me, like, this is pretty clearly Zay Flowers, but if you wanted to make a case for Charbonnet, I think you could as well. I think you could even make a case for Devin Achane here if you wanted to, but I'll go Zay Flowers. Why not? First round wide receiver. I'm not crazy about it, but it's just kind of what has happened to this late first area. Like, I would say when we're talking through a rookie mock or just a rookie draft in general, after the 108, like, I don't mind the 109 because maybe you have a Zay Flowers truther and whatever. I'm not psyched to use a 109 on Zay Flowers. I'm psyched to use a 109 on Addison, Quentin Johnston, if one of those two could fall there, but it's not great. Dalton Kincaid 110. I can't even fault you for that. Like, he's in the same tier of guys I have at the 1-2 turn. But it's like, man, he's a tight end, like any first round tight end. Like, would you have been happy to use a 110 on David Njoku, right? Like, David Njoku didn't put up a good season until like year 5. Man, Will Levis 111. I can't do Will Levis 111. I cannot do that. But I know he has his fans, Will Levis. I know he has his fans. It's just like, he's a bronze quarterback prospect with 33 overall draft capital. Like, he had to go top 12 for me to be really, really interested. And now it's just, God damn. What do I do if I can't get Gibbs at the 103? Do I keep JSN? Do I trade the 103? And if so, I keep JSN. I'm confused. You can just take JSN. You can just take JSN there. I'm having a hoot with my cat. Love to see it, Marshall. Eckler remaining a Charger. I mean, for now, it seems like they are. It seems that they are. I'm very curious to see where Fournette and Zeke end up as well. I tweeted out last night just like something dumb, but it wouldn't shock me at all if they went to if one of them went to the Chiefs. Yeah, exactly. All four went round 1 in terms of wide receivers. Gibbs 12th. I agree. It really was just no Levis that kind of did a hit. Give me Roschon over Chase Brown. Roschon's just like a bigger, more complete back, I feel like. I agree. Hey, Richardson's my 102. I don't think a lot of people will be right there with me. So who do I have ranked the highest on the rankings? Let's take a look, Ski. Give me, you know what, dude? Give me Mims. And I actually have Mims as my 203, man. I actually have Mims as my 203. I mean, he goes second round. He ends up as a gold wide receiver prospect. Like, he's just fine, He's just fine. He goes to Denver with Russell Wilson. We don't know if, like, Judy or Sutton are hanging around, but I'm not really scared of either of those guys long term. I guess I'm more fearful of Judy than anything else, but, like, Mims was never going to come in and be a top dog anywhere, you know what I mean? Like, he's just a, like, wide receiver 2 type, kind of like the rest of these guys. How do we feel about Mims versus Mingo? Because I lean Mims, but I do get that top 40 draft capital is pretty serious business. Oh, yeah, Keaton Mitchell was one that I wanted to get drafted. I would have loved Keaton Mitchell. I know Sean Tucker signed with the Bucks, but it's still just like undrafted free agent, just like, it's tough. I mean, I'll still probably be taking 4th round flyers on Sean Tucker, but it's not great. Oh, Xavier Hutchinson did get drafted, huh? That's my bad. I don't know why I thought he didn't get drafted. So let's see. We got A-Chain at 201. I love the price on Charbonnet and A-Chain there. I'm seeing Kendre Miller go early second. I probably prefer a mid-second on Kendre Miller, but I do get like running backs can gain value pretty easily. Mayer at 203. Probably a little late for Mayer. Mayer, to be honest with you, I don't feel very differently about him getting second round draft capital versus first round draft capital, but I'm open to being wrong by thinking that. But I don't think it's a huge difference. Like tight end draft capital for tight ends correlates the least of fantasy points among, quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end. So Rice is a tough one. Downs is a tough one as well. I love Downs. He still shows up as elite in the wide receiver RS grades. Like I'm sure I'll get into this week, but he is the highest graded Lance Zierlein wide receiver to go outside the top 2 rounds. And even if you include second rounders, he has like the 5th highest RS grade among non-first round wide receivers. So it's really weird that he fell. Gets sniped on Darnell Washington here. So who do I kind of got up next here? Bigsby, of course, off the board. By the way, Bigsby 306 is way too late. I really should have been looking at my rankings here before I was on the clock, So Roshan gone, Abanaconda gone, Evans gone. God damn, bro. You know what, dude? Give me Deuce Vaughn, man. Give me Deuce Vaughn. Third round Deuce Vaughn, I could very much be into. I kind of think he could be a Tariq Cohen where he comes in and like maybe like year 2, year 3, he has like 60 catches or something. I really do think so, man. I really do think that that's a possibility. Did you see the bad news around Spears has no ACL? His meniscus is essentially gone and he already has arthritis or osteoarthritis. I don't know if you're joking, but I have heard that his knee is pretty fucked. What's a realistic Dynasty comp to Gibbs? I think CMC or Eckler comps are wishful thinking at best. How are they wishful thinking at best? I don't really understand that. I think I might already have it loaded in here. Damn it, I don't. But McCaffrey went 9th overall and Gibbs went 12th overall. And the only players that can touch Gibbs' receiving upside or receiving profile in college are Saquon and McCaffrey. So I think McCaffrey's a good ceiling comp, but I think like on the median you're looking at like Javid Best, Chris Johnson, I think are good comps. CJ Spiller came up as well. CJ Spiller's wasn't great, but I think he was also ahead of his time in terms of running back archetype. Do the round 3 golds look good? I mean, to me, yeah, they look decent. I like some of the round 3 wide receiver golds that you'll see are like, you'll get like Earl Bennett and some other guys that didn't pan out, but you'll also get, like Chris Godwin and Keenan Allen. So it's a mixed bag. Can't believe the Panthers took Mingo over Mims. I could see it. Like, I get why a team would really like Mingo. I do. He has upside and kind of has like a rare archetype or body. Unsure Reed's ADP has caught up with his draft capital yet. Where did he go? 211? I don't know if I would take Reed much higher than 211 though. Like where do I have him in my rankings? I'm actually much lower. I have Jaden Reed at 306. Like I know he went second round, but outside the top 40 picks isn't that crazy. He's not a great prospect. Like I'd probably rather the day 3 running backs over him. I'd rather the 2 quarterbacks. I would rather Laporta and Musgrave. I'd rather the day 2 running backs as well. Or not the day 3 running backs, but I would prefer Zach Evans, Abanaconda, Roshan Johnson. But I'm open to changing some things. What else we got in here? Keaton Mitchell signed with the Ravens. Underdog BB4, WrestleMania 4 up and running. Yes, sir. Love to see. I'll probably do one of those drafts, maybe like Monday or Sunday. Yeah, Tank Bigsby should very easily be like a mid-second. I would take him over Spears all day long. I would take him over Reed. I would take him over Rice. Like, to me, I would have him right in this area. Like, I know it's not a beautiful landing spot, guys, but ETN's 24. on year 3 of 4 of his rookie deal. He's a guy who had a foot injury. Like, it's tough in this NFL. There's really not a lot of landing spots where you're just going to get like a super clear runway. So, like, to me, I don't understand why, like, Kendre Miller for the Saints with Alvin Kamara and Jamal Williams is like a 202. But Bigsby, like, I have Bigsby in the same tier as Kendre Miller, like right in this like early to middle second area. Can you justify Downs at 201, have a draft tomorrow, and really want to snag him? In a non-tight end premium, I think you could. He's my 202. He's my 202. So, it's tough. It's tough. I could see it, but he's my 202, but that might be a reach. He went 206 here, but that's a Ron Stewart mock. Like, I think in a lot of leagues, he might be a 2-3 turn guy outside of my audience. What's the path to fantasy relevance for Tank Bigsby? An ETN injury. He could also carve out a role. So you guys took Washington for sure. You guys take Cedric Tillman. You know what? Give me Evan Hull, man. Evan Hull getting 5th round draft capital is pretty damn solid, man. And I like his profile too. But the path to relevance for Bigsby is he's a 3rd round pick. He can catch passes. He can go between the tackles. It's pretty clear the Jaguars, like, I mean, they bring in Dearness Johnson. They were kind of splitting things with like Hasty down the stretch last year. They don't want ETN to be a 20-plus carry bell cow. So like Tank Bigsby can find himself, you know, getting 5 to 10 touches, catching passes, doing stuff between the tackles. Maybe he even carves out a goal line role. Like, I don't think it's very hard for him to kind of mine value. And then also, again, like, ETN's a guy who's been hurt. You're an injury away. You know, by like Bigsby's like 2nd or 3rd year, ETN could be gone as well. So, I mean, it's not like the clearest runway of all time for him to go, but in this draft class, when the middle of the second is pretty damn weak and there's not like a lot of good wide receiver profiles and stuff, I'd kind of just rather bet on a good day 2 running back prospect. All right, so there's our first mock. I don't know how many more of these we'll do, but let's do a few more. So that's there. If anybody wants to take a screenshot, I don't know, go ahead. But let's make a new one. What do we think about that one? Let's just make sure that the settings are all good to go. Why does it always like stop defaulting as snake, man? 60. Okay. Let's go 7. All right, I'm dropping a new link down below. Oh, not joking. That was a Rappaport that reported that. Discovered at the Combine. Titans' new GM was with St. Louis when the Rams took Gurley and his fucked up knee. Huh. I mean, day 2 draft capital is still great. I mean, it's still like day 2 draft capital. You have to respect that, but I've definitely heard rumblings that like his knee was pretty screwed up, but it doesn't shock me. All right, let's randomize the order. I wouldn't put him at untouched. I know somebody in the comments said that he's untouchable, but like, man, dude, let me randomize it one time. I just got the 9 spot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm randomizing one more time. Yeah, give me the 4 spot, dude. I'm not drafting from the 9 spot twice. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Yeah, pretty much, you know, like the Khalil Herbert path. So now we're looking. Give me Gibbs here. Give me Gibbs as my 104. I'll take that all day. This class gets so bad so fast. I find myself just falling into tight ends. Yeah, it's pretty rough, man. I gotta be honest, dude. Like, if you find yourself in like the early second or like late first, and it's like, man, I might just take a tight end. Like, tight ends, of course, can pan out, right? Like, TJ Hawkinson's kind of like maintained decent value, but they're such long-term assets before you find like you know what I mean? Like, unless if a tight end goes out there and absolutely smashes in year 1, which can happen. We've seen it with Evan Ingram. But for them to like really gain value for you, they have to do a ton in year 1, which is like a lot more difficult than a running back, you know, coming in, giving you 15 points per game when the starter goes down, or, you know, when something gets shooken up, like Rashad Penny leaving and Kenneth Walker coming in. I'm trying to see what I can package with those picks that might be a tight end and get into a random 24 first. I know that sounds tough, but I think you could. I think you could figure out a way to get there. So this time we have Charbonnet, A-Chain, Kincaid off the board. Out of all the years you've been scouting prospects, who has been your biggest hit and biggest miss as a prospect? I would say my biggest miss has been Terrace Marshall. Biggest hit, I mean, I had ETN, RB1 in his class. I don't know. Tough for me to say off the top of my head. So, we are looking at Charbonnet is gone, Mayer's gone. Wow, people are very high on Kendre Miller, huh? So Kendre Miller's an early second. I'm game to move him up there if that's the vibe. But if I move Kendre Miller up, I'm moving Tank Bigsby up. Know that, fellas. But I'm going to go Josh Downs. Like, I'm cool taking... I don't think you're going to have to take him here in rookie drafts, but I'll take 204 Josh Downs. I just will. You're calling the second and third hot dog water. I have a few leagues where I loaded up on second, expecting the class to have real depth. I said this on Twitter earlier, but it wasn't by design. Really, like, I didn't purposely not load up on seconds, but I've never been a guy, like, you guys know, like, I don't think I've ever said, like, go out there and buy as many seconds as you can. I know some guys, like getting an extra second in deals. I've always looked at seconds as just bargaining chips that I'll just throw in to sweeten deals up. So I actually ended up pretty underweight on seconds this year. Like, let me see if I can pull this up. Oh, you guys are about to see, like, crazy things. Yeah, I love that I just get absolutely exposed here when I try and pull something up. But I did do inventory on my picks. So across 10 Dynasty teams, I have a 202, a 207, a 208, a 209, and 3 211s. So that's really not a ton, right? Like, I mean, I guess your expected second-round picks with 10 teams would be 10 second-round picks. I just have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And only one second rounder before the 206. So like I wasn't holding on to any early seconds or anything. But how's this draft going? We have Mayer, Kendre Miller, Levis. I'm open to moving Kendre Miller up, like I said. Rashee Rice, Bigsby. Again, I think that's a little bit late for Bigsby. I think I'd have to go Mingo over, even as much as I like Roschon Johnson and don't love Mingo, I think I'd go Mingo over Roschon. Top 40 draft capital is just a lot safer. Laporte's at 212 probably makes sense. Chase Brown at 301. I'd say slightly steep for me. Damn, somebody took Musgrave and somebody took Tyjae Spears. And Levis and Hooker are gone. And Roschon's gone. So this is interesting. How do you guys feel between Jaden Reed, second round pick to the Packers, not a great profile but a decent profile, versus an Israel Abinaconda? You know, good profile, day 3 but behind Breece Hall. I think if I was on the clock here, I'd want to trade out. In the rankings right now, I have Abinaconda, but now that you put me on the clock and asked me to make this pick, guys, yeah, give me Jaden Reed. I might make that adjustment on the fly here. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? I think I gotta move. All right, I got a night. Let me actually update this live while we're streaming. I hope that this doesn't take away from anything. I'm not exactly caught up with the chat right now. So, oh my God, we have 225 people in here. Fellas, leave a like if you're in here, if you're enjoying the content. I'm literally updating rookie rankings as we go here, just like getting a feel for the draft room. These are already live on the Patreon, patreon.com/Ron Stewart. If you haven't already, make sure you check it out. Again, I don't know who else is already putting out rookie rankings like this. I got all the way through the 412 on them. But I do want to make this change. I think I would prefer Roschon Johnson to Jaden Reed. But I think Abinaconda and even Zach Evans, who I have over them, I think I would rather put Jaden Reed and Rashee Rice ahead. So 302, 303 for Jaden Reed. I think that looks better. Because it's just like, man, second round draft capital is pretty serious stuff. 50th overall for Jaden Reed. And I might still be too low, but I don't think so. I think that makes sense. Also, where are you guys at on Levis and Hooker? Because I'm seeing Levis and Hooker go very high in these drafts. I have them personally right now 211, 212. I'm not psyched about either, really. Levis, like, now that he's a second rounder, is a bronze. Hooker's a silver, but he's also a third round pick for the Lions with like an ACL and everything. Like, I just don't know, I just don't know. Let's say he doesn't play a single snap in 2023. Like, what kind of value does he hold there, Jay Senton still clear wide receiver 1? Yeah, for me. I know Kendre is good. I keep seeing him taken definitively over Tank Bigsby. Like in like a full tier ahead, which I don't agree with. I think they're in the same tier. Josh David Bell Downs. Oh, come on. Josh Downs is a much better prospect than David Bell. Much more athletic. Better film grades. I don't know. I do get the David Bell comps though. So who's on the board here? Let's pull up my handy dandy rankings here. So Evans is already gone for sure. Man, you guys are taking all the good players. Rice. You guys already took Deuce from out from under me. Jaden Reed and Tillman are gone. Yup. Is Darnell? Yup. Jeez. You guys are leaving me with nothing. Hole's gone. So you guys are going to make me take... You guys make me take Eric Gray, huh? Eric Gray, Saquon's backup. Like, there's a chance that Saquon holds out and like gets traded or doesn't play, and Eric Gray kind of could be like a DFS free square in week 1. The only wide receivers I take over AR and one quarterback are the 4 round 1 guys, Downs and Mims. Huh. Yeah, everybody's saying Reed. I agree. Yeah, exactly. In the past, it has been just take the running back. Just take the running back, see what happens, Yeah, I've heard even J.J. Zacharyson loves Jaden Reed. I think that he pops in his model. Yeah, exactly, Chandler. I mean, he looks decent in my model. Like, he comes up okay. But, like, he doesn't look amazing. A lot of people saying Reed. Thoughts on Michael Wilson? I don't have a ton of thoughts on Michael Wilson. Not super interested in him. I think I've ranked him as I ranked him at like 407. Brendan Strange, anything? Never saw him going second round. Yeah, I put him. I think he's probably like a 4th rounder. He's a second round draft capital is pretty serious. Kendra has a clearer path, but like, how much clearer? And also he doesn't catch passes the same way Tank does. What do you think about What do we think about Kenneth Walker after Charbonnet pick, dude? It's tough, man. It's tough because he looked good last year. I want to say, dude, like, especially Pete Carroll being like a boomer coach, Kenneth Walker's biggest like negative last year was that his success rate was bad. So he was kind of like Saquon Barkley, where it was boomer bust. Like, you would either get stuffed or take it to the house. I imagine they wanted somebody that'd be a little more steady Eddie. But it's like, man, you invest second round capital into a running back. Like, it moves Kenneth Walker, who's probably like my RB6, RB7, or no, he was like my RB7, RB8. I definitely want to put him behind Saquon. I think I probably put Kenneth Walker. Like, do you guys put him behind Saquon? I probably put him behind Ramondre for sure. I think I probably put him behind Jacobs. I think once you get to like Najee Javante area of like early teen RBs in Dynasty, I think that's where I would put him. But it just sucks. I mean, like the pipe dream of him catching passes is gone. So you're looking at kind of just like a between the tackles grinder, like kind of like Nick Chubb, but he would like Nick Chubb, Jonathan Taylor, but he's much smaller than those guys and not as efficient. So it's tough, man. Like he to really pay off, he has to be truly special efficiency wise. You know, it's tough. I've heard the cutoff for wide receiver draft capital is like 40. I was told this draft was deep, dude. It got nuked. I'm sorry, man. It got nuked. We all thought that this was a deep class. I'm sorry. Elijah Higgins, the future tight end one of Miami. I'm gonna run through Elijah Higgins through the tight end model and kind of see how he comes out, because like Darren Waller's a guy who popped, but he was a like wide receiver to tight end transfer. So I'm curious to see. You said these thirds suck. They do. The thirds aren't fun. The seconds aren't fun. Like maybe like late second I don't hate, because you can kind of get like one of these falling tight ends or like a Tank Bigsby. I don't hate like this 207 to 212 area, but outside of that, like one, and I have to say like I want A-Chain on teams. I don't want to have to use a late first on him. Same with Charbonnet, but man. I have Justin Herbert in the 106. Should I take JSN if he's available, or take Quentin Johnson? No, don't take a pick for a stack. I would take JSN. I would take whoever your wide receiver one is. I have JSN. Let's do one more, huh? Dude, there was like 250 people in here, dude. I might as well keep going. If you guys are gonna just absolutely go crazy in here, my God, man. Let's run up another one. Why not? Why not let it fly? The great Chris Smoove once said. Let's see. Is it going to be Snake again? Great, dude. Insane. All right, let's drop another one of these. Let's drop another one. I don't know how many more we're going to do. I'm thinking probably one or two more here. It is Saturday night. I would like to go chill out after a long day of work, but I'm having fun doing these too. Like I think it's really interesting to me just seeing like how you guys sort of value these players. Feel free to ask me any questions. Like I think you guys are asking me great questions here to just steer the conversation. Just let me sort of ramble about things. Then the TCU scheme is why Kendry doesn't catch the ball. He's not capable. Yeah, but the issue is like you can keep making mistakes for guys, man. But Kenneth Walker didn't catch passes, and then he didn't catch passes as a rookie, and it's probably gonna be the same thing for Kendry Miller. It's not that he's not a good player, but for PPR leagues, which we play in, you can't just say like, okay, he didn't catch passes, but he could. Like. Yeah, he could, but he's not likely to just because of the data we have on him, So I just have a hard time having that mindset of like he can grow in that area. Like his ceiling is capped in terms of catching passes. Not anyone's fault, of course. Yeah, I agree. Everybody was touting the depth. I was touting the depth. It's just like things did not break our way, man. Things did not break our way this year, dude. It is bad. It is bad. I mean, but here's the thing. I can't stress this enough. I cannot stress this enough. Yes, it is sad what has happened here. Okay, we were saying, you know what, the top end of this class isn't that great, but there's gonna be a lot of depth. But now it's kind of flip-flopped here. Again, I said this earlier. 101 through 106 are going to be in the top 36 of my Dynasty rankings. That is huge, right? And even on top of that, like Bijan is like a 1-2 turn guy. I'm going to have all of the quarterbacks plus Gibbs as like second rounders and startups. JSN probably right there behind them. Like, that's amazing, right? If you didn't win in your league and you ended up with like a top 6 pick, you're laughing all the way to the bank. It's... and even 107, 108, I don't mind, and I don't mind this area, but it's like, man, 111 through like 206, 207, god damn. And then the thirds aren't that nice anymore either. That's what I'm seeing from my point of view, at least. Let's go Quentin Johnson. Quentin Johnson's very easy in my 107 there. And I pray that I have film guys in my league that thinks he can't catch or whatever, and like I do think there's going to be some spots where you're going to have like Addison and Flowers lovers that'll take him here, and you might get of falling Quentin Johnson in this 109, 110 area. Every once in a while, I think you will. So be on the lookout for that, fellas. That's the other thing. He had one singular game where he caught 6 passes. That's a crazy way of looking at things, right, guys? Like, just to say, like, okay, he had one game where he caught a bunch of passes. Okay. It's just like, and I'm not saying he can't catch passes, but I'm saying he's unlikely to based on what we saw from him in college. And I think that that's a fair thing to say. And that's me saying, like, I like Kendre Miller. I have him right behind Tank Bigsby. It's like my RB6 or whatever. Like, I like Kendre Miller. I'm open to the idea of him being a very good pure rusher. I think he profiles a lot like Kenneth Walker. And that's a good thing, Yeah, he's my RB6. I like Kendre Miller. I'm just saying, making him a smash auto pick in the early second, I can't get there because he doesn't catch passes. Or because he hasn't proven that he does. We got Brock in here. What's going on? Colts got A-Rich some help? Yes, sir, dude. I love that Downs pick. Everyone's excited. It's rookie draft season, dude. I'm excited too, bro. This is Christmas morning, dude. Like the stream, yeah. Everybody, if you're in here and you're reading this, like the stream. If you need rookie rankings for your rookie draft, check out patreon.com/Ron Stewart. That'll be linked in the description, the live chat, everything you could possibly see. I have my 101 through 412 right now that I'm literally staring at. And I'm going to be updating it tomorrow. All the official RS grades are already out, man. I'm on top of it, bro. I'm on top of it. We're not messing around this draft season. All right, so now we're looking here. We have Tyjae Spears if we want him. I don't really want him. This is about where I'd have Miller. I think this is fair. I know, I saw him go like 201, 202. Right in this area for me, Kendre Miller. I like Kendre Miller, but I wouldn't sell yourself on his pass-catching upside is all I'm trying to say. Let's see. What do I have the rankings at? Where do I have the rankings at? So Mims not off the board, huh? Yeah, give me Mims. Give me Mims, but if you want to go Mingo here, you can. If you want to go Mingo over Mims, I really wouldn't fault it. Easier path to, like, I'm willing to say the RS grades not liking Mingo. I'm willing to like him a bit more than the RS grades do. Because I get it. He didn't produce, but he has, like, the film guys absolutely gush about his, like, upside in this, like, big slot role. He's athletic. He's a rare type of wide receiver for this league right now. I get it. I do. And there's only so many, like, you know what I mean? There's only so many guys with that top 40 draft capital at wide receiver that Scott Connor has been kind of peddling around. So, I mean, I get it. I have 104 and want 101. Any ideas on a respectable offer? Would grab a player you don't like and see if it closes the gap. Like I sold, I think, or I sold 102 and Christian Kirk to get to the 101. So I don't know what the 104 would cost, but I would try and not, like, I think the biggest thing here, fellas, is I get asked all the time this exact question. I have the 104, I have the 107, I have the 108. How do I get up to pick X? And the biggest thing I can tell you is don't use a future first. Whatever you do, do not give up your future first. Do not go 104 my future first for your 101. Now, of course, if I'm on the 101, I want a future first. But if you can find a way to use a player or seconds or anything else but your future first, because it's just like you're then mortgaging your future to move up. Like, I would rather just sit at the 104 and take whatever falls to me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to use a future first to move up the board. Now, if he has an interest in a running back I don't like maybe Rachaad White goes through the weekend kind of unscathed here. If he wants Rachaad White plus my 104 and, maybe a late second on top to get to the 101, have that all day. But I think going out there and blindly saying, 104 plus my future 24 first for a 101 isn't great. And I think if you ask other people that question, they would probably say, I think probably a future first gets you there. Find a way to package players and seconds to equal a future first to move up, if that makes sense. I hope that kind of helps. I hope that helps for everybody, because I know everybody's trying to move up and move down and maneuver the board. Can't stress enough, if you're moving up in a draft, unless it's like from late first to 101, I'd really try and stay away from using a future first. Running backs either have hands or they don't. Kendrick doesn't. These dogs rarely learn new tricks. I mean, maybe he does, but it's not likely is kind of the issue. Haven't heard your reaction to the official Rodgers news and your thoughts on the Jets. I'm pumped, bro. I'm pumped. Like Aaron Rodgers, 4-time MVP or whatever, dude. I was watching his like top 10 best throws highlights yesterday, or actually this morning. Very hyped about it. So everything just falls off here, huh? So you guys took all of the tight ends that I would have liked to have. Huh. Give me, you know what? Man, Levis and Hook are going high again here, huh? I don't hate it. I mean, in Superflex, I kind of understand it. Maybe I'll come around on it and move Levis and Hooker up for me personally right now, but I have them as late seconds right now. Anybody out there want to sell me on them? I kind of get it, though, as, like, you know, quarterbacks and Superflex, but at the same time, like, we just saw, like, Malik Willis, Corral, Ritter all go day 2 and not really gain value. Give me Abinaconda. I'm sorry to milk the clock like that, but will ETN get more receiving work with Tank there to grind between the tackles? I would hope so, but we really don't know. We really don't know just because they weren't comfortable with him as a pass catcher last year, you know? And Tank Bigsby can catch passes. I'm moving up on rookie drafts. If I have like a 111, 112, maybe you can try and see. But I would almost rather, like, if I have a 111, 112, I'm almost rather see what I can add to it to get to a future 24 first. We got Chris in here. What's going on? You said the disc draft is so bad for fantasy. Yeah, I agree, man. First round was sweet, but you don't mind the 110 to 203? I don't love it, man. I would rather have just like the 204, 5, 6, 7, 8, and just kind of see what falls. Sharps keeps going too damn high. I don't agree. Man. Second round draft capital for running back is serious business, man. Second round draft capital is serious business no matter who's in the backfield. Okay, can't catch passes is just an easy way to say that he won't, but it's just he's unlikely to catch a lot of passes is what I'm trying to say, Gavin. Like QJ over Addison. I just like QJ's profile a bit more. Bigger, faster, stronger. While people say that his production isn't good, his production's fine for me. Early declare, broke out as a freshman, led the TCU team in receiving all 3 years while he was there, despite his first year in the Big 12 when it's an air raid offense. Max Duggan, their quarterback, had less than 2,000 passing yards. So Quentin Johnson didn't really have a quarterback or a good offense to really operate within. He's a special yard after the catch guy. I just think the upside is better. He's not playing behind Justin Jefferson. So give me Quentin Johnson, but I know Addison has his guys, and if I have Addison and Johnson like in the same tier. If you want to have Addison ahead, I wouldn't fault you, but that's where I have him. Shot at 106, yeah, that stuck out to me too. I can't do the JSN over QBs thing. Like JSN going 20th overall here and behind Metcalf and Lockett. I don't care a ton about landing spots, and it's why I will still have JSN at 106. But having him ahead of quarterbacks when Stroud can almost do like not a ton and still be valued as like a third round startup guy, JSN to maintain like third round startup value, almost in terms of like yards per out run, targets per out run, PFF grade, has to be on par with like your Londons, Olaves, and Wilsons last year. Anything below that, and he just gets, he'll be like a back end wide receiver 2. So you have to be super, super arrogant with your evaluation of Jackson Smith-Njigba to put him as a 20th overall wide receiver in a crowded depth chart with a quarterback that could turn to dust. Now, this is something that I've been workshopping in my head, and I think you guys are going to absolutely hate this. But this is coming from a guy who saw Ryan Fitzpatrick almost will the Jets to a playoff run and throw 30-plus touchdowns for like the first time since Joe Namath, and then was dust and booty cheeks that following year. Now, as a Jets guy, I hope that Geno Smith is amazing, right? He got the bag. I'm very, very happy for him. But we've seen flash in the pans at quarterback. Like Nick Foles kind of comes to mind. Like, I'm trying to think of some other ones where a guy like flashes. Like, the magic could run out on Geno, and then things kind of get ugly there in Seattle. So, again, he's my 106, very firmly my 106 JSN. I am just cautioning, and he'll probably be the top 36 guy in my startup rankings. I cannot stress that enough, fellas. I do like JSN. I'm just saying why I would be very hesitant to put him up against or put him over a Gibbs, to put him over a quarterback. You have to be ultra confident that he shows up as an elite year one wide receiver. All right, let's do one more. We'll do one more. We'll do an encore here. Is A-Chain over Sharp consensus or just this draft? I can't imagine A-Chain is going to have that much of a bigger world than Sharp. I'd say that they're right next to each other. How nervous are you about Devils Rangers Game 7? Pretty nervous, man. I'm thinking I'm going to end up going there. Addison opposite Jefferson's cool, but it kind of erases his like wide receiver one, like, you know, like he doesn't have like Jefferson, Chase, or even like top 5 dynasty wide receiver upside. Like, it's just tough. Like, I know Higgins, I almost said Tiggins, the T. Higgins, kind of flirted with it for a little bit, where he was, like, fringe top 5, but it's just so tough when you have, like, legit the best wide receiver in the NFL next to you, who's probably about to sign, like, a mega deal for a long time. So I think it just kind of caps the ceiling. It kind of puts him in, like, the Devonta Smith, T. Higgins area, which is fine. I think that, like, Addison kind of comps well to, like, a Devonta Smith, but it's just, like, monster upside, like huge profit, I'm not sure is there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how Jordan Addison becomes even a second round pick in startups. So that's just kind of the lens I'm viewing this from. Let's go one more. Let's go one more, huh? All right, let me claim a spot. Fix the settings. One more. Let's do it. You guys are going crazy right now. Dude, we almost had like 300 people in here for a second. Again, if you're in here, I'm setting these up. We've done now 3 rookie mocks. We're going on a 4th here. My rookie rankings are on Patreon. They are live. My top 101 through 412. All of the RS grades are updated on Patreon. Patreon.com/Ron Stewart. Links in the description. Live chat down below in the comments as well. Make sure you check those out. I want to make sure we're all dominating our rookie drafts this offseason. I know, like, people are starting rookie drafts like literally tomorrow, right? So I kind of wanted to get in a little bit of practice here, because I know a lot of you guys are going to be out here in the streets without like any sort of consensus ADP out there too. What do we got? All right, that filled up fast. Let's do one random and we're out. Give me something good. 107, dude. Sweet. Again. No, I just got the 107, guys. I'm sorry. I'm not picking from the same spot twice, dude. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. It's just what it is, guys. It's just what it is. Dealer's choice, dude. I have the 101 considering trading down to the 104. Would you do it if the price is right? I would. If I could net a future first and I wasn't trying to compete, yes. Sharp and Bigsby over Miller, interesting. Yeah, for me personally, yeah. I think Bigsby versus Miller is a debate though. It's close there if you want. Give me Stroud at 105. What are your thoughts on Zach Kuntz dust? 7th rounder. Like, it's just like he's such an old prospect too. Like, he didn't pop at all in the RS grades, and the RS grades are designed so that if you go like 6th or 7th round, like even Darren Waller's a 6th rounder and he ended up as a gold. So, it's designed, like George Kittle's a gold too. So if you go day 3, you still have a shot in the RS grades as a tight end. He didn't even show up as a silver despite all the physical stuff. He's super old. He didn't produce. He played at Old Dominion. Like, I'm just not interested. We got Drew in here. What's going on, man? 300 viewers, Ron. Only one more. 304? God damn, fellas. Dude, you guys are going crazy, man. Leave a like. Again, check out the rankings. Like, subscribe. You guys are the best, dude. Like, this is insane. Like, this might be a record for the channel. I don't know. It might be a record for the channel. I thought we'd have a show out here, but you guys are going crazy. You're going back and forth on Young and Average and Superflex. To be fair, I have them back to back, and if you wanted to go Bryce Young, I like, you can. First overall quarterbacks are as safe a bet as there is. Yeah, that's kind of how I feel about him, but like, that's sort of what this wide receiver class is after Quentin Johnson and Jackson Smith-Njigba, you know? Man, again, Will Levis at 202. So Will Levis is an early second for you guys, huh? Or he's going to be on the market. I don't think I'll have any Levis at that price. I don't think I will. So down, I got sniped on downs. I think this is probably where I'd have Bigsby. I think I got to update the rankings on where I would have Bigsby as well, though. Like, how do you guys think about Mingo versus Bigsby? How do we feel about Mims versus, like, Bigsby and Kendre Miller? Man, this is tough. Give me Mims. Give me Bigsby. I think I got to move up the running backs a little bit here. Like, I have 201. Like, how high are we comfortable taking Bigsby and Kendre Miller? I think I'm going to move them up to, like, 203, 204 for me. I think so. I think I can take Downs over them, but I don't think I can take Mims and Jonathan Mingo. That's what it comes down to. How do we feel about Bigsby, Kendre Miller versus Marvin Mims and Jonathan Mingo? I think I would prefer Bigsby and Kendre Miller. I think I would. I think it's just easier for them to gain value, just as like running backs with decent profiles and decent spots. I'm open to the idea of Mims over both, but Mingo behind both, if that makes sense. The reason why I'm like kind of zoning out is I'm fixing these rankings on the fly here, just as we're doing drafts, just because I want to get a feel for the room. Like, this is the whole point of what we're doing here, getting a feel for what I think on the clock, who I would take. Yeah, I think I would go Bigsby and Kendre Miller over Mims and Mingo, but I do think that it's close. I think it's very close. Wow, taking Kendre Miller at 111, man. People are taking Kendre Miller high, huh? Got super chat from the chef. 107 Superflex need quarterback bad, Levis or Addison? Oh, Addison all day, man. I never draft for need, fellas, and like Levis is a guy I wouldn't take till like the late second. He goes early second in these though. Like 107, you can't take him there. And trade out of the 107, get a quarterback. Like you're so far away from the season, chef. Like you don't got to solve that problem with the 107, you know. Sharp in the first is so hard, man. I don't understand what's the like second round draft capital at running back is huge. Like even if he's not a great prospect or he's not going to get volume right away. I think A.J. Dillon's a decent comp for him, and A.J. Dillon's gained value and kind of gone up and down in the market. Let's see. You guys already took Laporta and the guys that I wanted, of course. Jaden Reed's gone. So how do we feel? So Hyatt's gone. Laporta's gone. Musgrave's gone. That's about where I'd have Hooker. Or actually, I'd have Hooker a little bit higher than the 303 there. So Hooker slid in this one. Man, you guys took everything. I also can't get their mid-second Rashee Rice. I'm going to have Rashee Rice at probably like a second, third turn. But I could be talked into having him higher, possibly. But it doesn't feel great. Yeah, I guess this is Abanaconda. I'll take him. That's fine. We got Dynasty Land Football in here? Thank you, brother. Thank you, man. Shout out you boys. I've been checking out your channel. Days like this is when these football... I don't know what the heck you're even saying here. I'm a Colts fan and I have Young over A-Rich still. Yeah, and I think that's fine. I think that's literally fine. Man, these Beasley Project wide receivers never turn out or take a long time. Who are you talking about with? Is that like Mingo? What are you guys thoughts on that though? I feel like I didn't see anybody say anything about like Kendre Miller and Tank Bigsby versus your Jonathan Mingo, your Marvin Mims. Like how do we feel there? I'm still feeling out the value pocket. It seems like Kendre Miller is firmly ahead of those guys. But again, I have Bigsby and Kendre Miller in the same tier. So I think I'll go Bigsby, Miller, Mims, Mingo with those four. But I think it's tough. What else we got in here? Sorry if you talked about it already, but thoughts on Rojo to the Bears? You mean Roshan Johnson to the Bears? Or I guess he would be Rojo, but when you say Rojo, I think of Ronald Jones. But he kind of feels like this year's Damian Pierce, Roshan Johnson. I get that my spreadsheets won't like him. I'll have him as like a 2-3 turn guy for rookie drafts. He's interesting. He can catch passes. He caught 20 plus catches in his first year, and then Bijan came in and kind of displaced that. But he can catch passes. He's like 6 foot 220. So I'm definitely a fan. And I mean, there's 3 running backs on the Bears. Like none of them are super elite. A guy can get injured or whatever. So I'm fine. I think that he's fine. Let's look through this. Man, there is nothing that I like here, huh? Let's go. Man, what the hell happened? What the hell happened to these 4th rounders, guys? What? What happened, dude? Huh. Schoonmaker keeps hiding a little bit in these tight end rankings, but give me Schoonmaker. I mean, 2nd round tight end with like decent physicals. Fun fact about Luke Schoonmaker, fellas. In the RS grades, Luke Schoonmaker is a silver and is like this class's tight end 6. He would have the highest RS grade in the 2022 class. Now, last year was a weak class at tight end, but the RS grades like Schoonmaker as much, if not more, than like Trey McBride and Greg Dulcich from last year. So keep that in mind with Luke Schoonmaker, who hasn't gotten a lot of love here at all. 2nd round draft capital, decently athletic, went to a Power 5 school. Like, he's interesting, Luke Schoonmaker. I wouldn't completely disregard him. He's my 312 right now, Luke Schoonmaker, in case anybody was curious. What's your take on Swift? Top 15 redraft RB, been burned too many times with him. Not a top 15 redraft running back for me. Probably, like probably an RB2. The issue is like we've seen him, be up and down. I think Rashad Penny will be the between the tackles guy. And then he goes to the Eagles that have A.J. Brown, Goddard, Devonta Smith. And when you have a quarterback like Jalen Hurts, you're not going to be top 10 in pass attempts. So there's not a ton of rock to go around. Mobile quarterbacks don't check down to their running back. So I'm not psyched about it. I think that he's like probably fine. I don't see it as a massive upgrade for him, to be honest with you. Thoughts on Boutte to the Pats? I don't hate him. I don't hate it. I mean, somebody I'd take a flyer on like the 4th. I can't take him. I mean, he went 304 here. I'm good on that, brother. RB's over wide receiver in that case. Yeah, I kind of agree. Yeah, I agree, but I have them all so close together, and I'm just trying to get the rookie rankings right now to look how I want them to look. But I think that's probably how they'll end up for me. Bigsby, Miller, then Mims, Mingo, Hyatt. But it's close. It's very close. A lot of guys saying the RBs. Third round DC for running back is low hit rate, right? It depends. Since the 2017 class that had like Kamara and Kareem Hunt, it's had a low hit rate. But if you look at 2007 through 2017, like 10 years of data, third round had a lot of hits. So it's really tough to say. I do think the pendulum's just going to swing back, and we're going to get some third round hits here soon. I really do. It's really just that the third round running backs haven't been good prospects. I have elite and golds. In terms of round 3 running backs, we haven't had an elite or gold round 3 running back since 2017. So it's really just a matter of like good running backs not being taken in the third round, then third round being a death sentence. And we still, for what it's worth, all the third round running backs from this year are silver. So not going to really turn that around. I'm going to answer some questions here and then get out of here. But I appreciate all of you guys coming around, man. Like we peaked at like 300 something. All the love in the world to you guys. Like I wasn't expecting that at all. Like that is 300 in here is crazy. Like there were days, dude. There were days a few years ago where I would hop in here, do a live stream, and it would almost be a group chat vibe. It would almost be like if you're on Discord and like it would just be just me showing my face and everybody else just like typing in chat. Like it was literally just like a conversation between me and like 5 random dudes. And I love all those boys. Some of those boys that would be there back then. I think little Glenn Ramos. We had EG3. I'm telling you, man. There have been some dark days on this channel. Traded 201 and a 24 first for the 105. Did I get fleeced? You didn't get fleeced, but I almost never like trading future first. But I think that's probably fine. I saw that quote too. I have Josh Downs right now as an early second for me. RS grades still love him. It's tough, man. You're saying trying to finalize my rankings update at the moment. I'm struggling to get all in on Jaden Reed. People are in our comments telling us watch the film. He should go first round of the rookie draft. Jeez, man. Yeah, he's tough for me. My spreadsheets don't like him. I was on the clock here earlier, and I had to talk myself into moving him up because I was about to take Israel Abinaconda ahead of Jaden Reed. He's like a late second, early third for me right now. Like I feel like we've just seen too many times. Like even wide receivers get draft capital like Tutu Atwell and stuff. Like time and time again in rookie drafts, like you're probably just better off taking the running back, you know? Unless if he's a wide receiver prospect that you feel strongly about. We got a super chat in here from Benet. Appreciate it. Also, you think A-Rich to the Colts hurts Jonathan Taylor? Not a ton. Just because Jonathan Taylor's never been a pass catcher, you know? Jonathan Taylor's never been a pass catcher, so, like, you know, I just don't think... Like, A-Rich comes and, like, maybe it hurts some of his receiving upside, but the receiving upside wasn't crazy to begin with. And I think Anthony Richardson, just like his dynamism in the run game and zone reads and RPOs and everything, it's going to open up the lanes. I think the offensive line's going to come back here a little bit. The Colts, they drafted, like, Blake Freeland today, who's really good. They might have drafted another lineman, too. I think Quentin Nelson up front, they're going to have some road graders. Like, I do think that this run game is going to be a run game where, like, Jonathan Taylor could average, like, over 6 yards a carry. And lead the league in rushing. A lot of people saying do another. I don't know, fellas. I don't know, man. How soon do you expect Kincaid to be fantasy relevant? Not very soon. Not very soon. I would have moved off Andrews for him. I'm holding on to Andrews for dear life. You just like it's such an elite asset to have an elite tight end putting up difference-making production. But yeah, not very early for Kincaid. It's tough, man. Like tight ends, sometimes they don't break out to like year 3 or 4, year 5. So that's the biggest issue I have taking like a Kincaid with like a first round rookie pick. Is just like how long until he either produces and helps your team win or accrues a bunch of value, right? Like Trey McBride last year, different example, of course, but like second round tight end, like I think he probably just kind of held value. Like having like a huge return on investment with a rookie tight end, I think is tough. What else we got in here? Is there a point to have a 5-round rookie draft? Probably not. Bijan 2K all-purpose coming? I think so. Yeah, exactly. I think it's good for Jonathan Taylor. They're going to be one of the run-heaviest teams in the league, and it's going to be like a good run-heavy team. Pickens in a future first or 101? Like, what do you... Oh, or the 103? Probably the 103, but, like, again, I don't love giving away the future first. You won't run no balls. All right, let's do one more. But you have to promise, if you haven't left a like, leave a like. And if you haven't already, check out patreon.com/Ron Stewart. Link to my rookie rankings are below in the live chat, in the comments. We're running it back one more 30-second timer this time, though. But we'll run it back one more for the people. I better see likes. I better see hype in the chat. I better see it all. I'm a man of the people. I'm a true showman. And I'm on here to deliver you one more Dynasty rookie draft for the people, for the long weekend, for the kids out there starving. And they don't even know what a rookie draft is. We do it for them. We do it for all the nerds across America. And not because it is easy. We do it because rookie mock drafting is hard. It is the hardest thing in the world. All right, let me get this set up. Copy link. All the hype in the chat. We're in here. One more. There's the link. Get in here if you're a real one. I love you boys. I'd go to war for my viewers, for my subscribers. I'd go to war. I'd take a carry between the tackles for my guys. I'd do another mock draft on a Saturday night at 11:37 p.m. after working all day and working all weekend and working all morning and night. All right, let's randomize the draft order. Where the hell did I go? Fellas. I randomized the draft order and I'm not in here. Can somebody leave? Oh, okay. I'm back in here. I don't know how that happened, but let's just start it before anything gets screwed around. Maybe I just didn't see where I was at. We got hype in here. Everybody leave a like. We're doing one more. Un mas. How are we, fellas? Have a good night, man. Love your work. Appreciate you for dropping by. Have a good one, King. Let's do Stroud. Let's go Stroud. Keep getting Stroud at the 105. Like, it's just like it's funny because like 2 months ago, it's like, man, like the 105. If you could tell me the 105 would be a quarterback drafted second overall, that's such a valuable 105. I feel like comparatively to what you would just like think in your head a 105 would be, you know. Maybe it was you said I don't see how you watched Sean Tucker play and let him go undrafted. Yeah, maybe it's the medicals, right? He didn't test at the combine and he held his own pro day, but man, like he's a very good player to be going that far. Hit the like button 100%. We're all hype. Hype is in the chat. Tucker has a heart condition that scared off teams. Okay, I didn't know it was a heart condition. That's tough. Heart problem? Man, that's actually sad. I kind of feel bad for him. What about the Indy offense becoming less efficient and A-Rich stealing rushing touchdowns? I don't know if it'll be less efficient. I feel like it was already, like Jonathan Taylor the last 2 years has been in an offense with Matt Ryan and like Carson Wentz and stuff. It's already been so inefficient. I trust Shane Steichen too much. Like, of course, there's going to be growing pains, but I'm not super concerned long term for Jonathan Taylor, you know? What'd you say? Oh, we got super chat in here from Dante Jones. Thank you, man. We got 104 or Dotson, 24 first, and a 205. Superflex 10 man. That's not enough. I love getting a future first there, but I need more. You're giving up a second round startup asset, you know? I need more there. You see Gibbs going before the top quarterbacks. The only top. Oh my God, I've been on the clock this entire time, huh? Okay, I keep getting sniped on downs. I'll take Tank Bigsby. I don't know. Do you guys not feel the same way? Like, I see Tank Bigsby and Kendra Miller in the same tier, and I keep seeing Kendra Miller go like 5-6 picks ahead of him. It's so busy I didn't get in the draft. Yeah, dude, this stream has been crazy, man. We've been operating at just like 250 plus, bro. You guys are the best, dude. Gibbs getting so much steam. Yeah, I mean, Gibbs 103, like, to me, Gibbs 103 is the highest I could have him. 105 is the latest I could have him. That's where I'd be at. As someone that has watched the Colts offense in 2021, it will not be less efficient. Yeah, like the offense was already pretty bad. And Jonathan Taylor, led the league in rushing with 20-plus points per game on, what was a pretty terrible offense. Maybe not terrible is the word, but you know what I mean. Said, wow, Gibbs getting so much steam. It's just like, man, dude, 12th overall in 2023. I ranted and raved about it yesterday on stream, but that's the second highest draft capital behind just Bijan since Saquon Barkley went second overall. So Jahmyr Gibbs is a 12th overall pick ahead of, Najee Harris, ETN, Breece Hall, Jonathan Taylor, all these really, really strong running back prospects. He was drafted higher than them. And if you just look through at running backs with first round draft capital, they get way more volume in year one. So it takes Gibbs as a guy who was already flirting with 105 with a second round draft capital. You give him top 12 and it just supercharges everything. 12th overall at least gives him goodwill through year two. He'll be a second round startup pick. this time next year, and then you can kind of decide, if you want to move off of him or not, because, maybe he's not getting goal line carries or whatever, but he should be a fairly insulated asset, and he has the rarest ceiling in Dynasty in my eyes. Let's make a pick here, though, and not be a doofus, huh? Give me Amenaconda, I guess. I don't know. But what I'm trying to say is, we talked about this, all of the offseason stuff. Pat Kerrane wrote about it. Legendary running back upside, right? Like that 23-plus points per game. If you look through, right, like Kamara, David Johnson, Christian McCaffrey, you got to get to like 80-plus catches to get there, unless if you're Todd Gurley and you're ultra efficient and can score 20-plus touchdowns. But if not, the easiest way to get there is catching passes. Last year, the only 20-plus point per game running backs were Austin Eckler and Christian McCaffrey. They were also the only running backs to catch 80 or more balls. There is maybe 5 or 6 running backs with the skill set to catch 80 or more balls, Jahmyr Gibbs being one of them. And he has draft capital that can go toe-to-toe with your McCaffreys, your Todd Gurleys. The team already has a ton of investment. They're going to want to feed him from day one. And they have Jared Goff at quarterback, who is the perfect sit-in-the-pocket, check down to Jahmyr Gibbs. So you just have a PPR monster here that can give you difference-making 20-plus point per game production without ever needing 1,000-plus rushing yards. So that's why I'm all in on Gibbs, and why if you want to put him at 103 in Superflex, I think you could. I think you really could. He is as good a running back prospect with as good of receiving profile as we've seen. The only guys that touch his receiving profile in my database is Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. That is it in terms of first-round running back prospects. So it's just really rare. It's a unique skill set. The team investment is way more than we thought it was previously. So that's my soliloquy monologue on Jahmyr Gibbs, like the 8th one I've done over the last 24 hours, but that's why I'm very high on him. And I know the quarterbacks are worth more, but when we're talking about quarterbacks that don't rush, and we're talking like Bryce Young and CJ Stroud, they kind of end up in that Tua range of 2-3 turn pick. It's not hard to see Gibbs stay right there or be above that. I just have them all in the same tier is what it comes down to. I will have them all when I do my startup rankings, like my top 250 Superflex tight end premium. Even if I have Gibbs ahead of Stroud, they're gonna be bang, bang right next to each other pretty much. Who are we going to take here? Washington. Oh, give me Darnell. I haven't gotten to take Darnell yet. 4th round Darnell will be pretty sweet. There's almost no way Indy's offense can be less efficient. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What do we got? Can you talk about Gibbs versus JSN and PPR versus point per first down? I don't have any experience in point per first down league, but my take on it has been 12th overall draft capital for a running back is super, super rare. So give me the running back. Gibbs could just give you 14 points per game, replaceable RB production, and still hold second round startup value through next season. JSN to me, right now he's probably a early 3rd in startups. For him to hold that value, he has to probably sort of replicate what London, Wilson, or Olave did, which is really difficult. Having elite yards per out run, targets per out run, PFF grade. It's a thinner hole to thread the needle through, and it's also behind Metcalf and Lockett in year 1. So I'm not saying he can't be good long term, but I think it's a pretty huge. I think you're taking on a pretty unnecessary risk taking JSN, who of course is a special wide receiver prospect, but the NFL doesn't see it that way. He did not get special draft capital. He went 20th overall, literally right next to the other wide receivers. They didn't see him in the same light as your Jamar Chases or even Garrett Wilson and Drake London last year. So I think that means something, especially in a weaker class like this where Jahmyr Gibbs went 12th overall. So give me Jahmyr Gibbs. 12th overall for running back is super, super rare. I was literally told to start factoring draft capital in differently in my prospect models for running backs, because I was hearing second round's a new first round, and third round's a new second round, and fourth round's a new third round, and it's just not the case. It's just we just had a few running back classes that didn't get drafted highly, So when we have a guy get drafted 12th overall in this era where that is so rare, again, Breece Hall and Jonathan Taylor were second round picks, and they are some of the cleanest prospects we've seen. That means something. That's going to hold a lot of value, and he has that rare skill set of catching passes. And here's something that I was stuffing up in my head for a second here. And don't kill me for this. But you heard this here first if this does happen. And if it doesn't happen, just forget you ever heard me say it. But it would not shock me at all if Jahmyr Gibbs had more receptions than Jackson Smith-Njigba in year 1. I think Jahmyr Gibbs could catch more passes in 2023 than Jackson Smith-Njigba. I'm not saying bet on it. I'm not saying he's going to, but I could pretty easily see it. What else we got in here? or as you're taking Deuce, probably like mid to late third. The thing is, like, second round running backs are also pretty rare, and they also hold value pretty well. Like, it doesn't have to be a super clean, like DeAndre Swift went to the Lions, and I think that he was behind like Kerryon Johnson for a minute there. Like, I just want to bet on the talent, and in a bad draft class like this, give me a 6 foot, 215-pound running back that catches passes with second round draft capital. Landing spot isn't amazing. Things change a ton in the NFL. Players get hurt. I just want to make that bet. It's kind of what it comes down to. Evan Hull probably is like a third, like a late third. Chargers not drafting a running back, a win for Eckler owners? Yeah, I would say so. You have T-Law, Kyler, the 103 and 104, and 100% taking Gibbs. Love to see it. What's the highest pick you'd sell for a 24 first, likely mid? Probably the 108 or 109. It depends on who's on the clock when I'm there. Mixing potential buy low? Possibly. The issue is that he might get suspended. London and Gibbs for Bijan? Probably not. Probably not, but it's close. Probably not, but it's close. Pickens in 106 or 103. I wouldn't sell the 103 for that. I don't know if I would pay for the 103 with that, if that makes sense. But I appreciate you guys all coming through. I really, really do. This has been one of the crazier live streams I've been a part of. 200 plus like the entire time. 300 plus at one point. I truly, truly do love you guys. You guys are the best. I do all the grinding, all the time in the spreadsheets, all the time on the outlines for you guys. I appreciate you guys. This is one of my favorite times of the year, the NFL draft. It has felt like Christmas the entire weekend. We wake up tomorrow. We go back to the grindstone. I got to finish up some of the other RS grade stuff, add some new prospects. I also, something that's underrated as well, people that have databases out there, double check stuff. Tomorrow I'm going to go through, double check ages, stats, RAS stuff. Like, just make sure that everything I have in there is accurate, because sometimes you can, late night in a spreadsheet and you flub a number. It happens to the best of us. So I'm going to make sure that all of that's good to go. I'm going to get some Dynasty trade targets out for the Patreon. If you are in here, if you love the content, the way that you can keep the lights on in the basement is patreon.com/Ron Stewart. That'll be down below in the description, down below in the comments. It should be pinned in the live chat right now. If you have a rookie draft coming up, I literally just dropped 101 through 412, all ranked in a spreadsheet for you guys to use for your rookie drafts that are happening, whether that's tonight, tomorrow, all of that. So check that out, patreon.com/Ron Stewart. I'll have all of the updated RS grades on there. You have my buys and sells. My complete Dynasty rankings are on there. My redraft stuff is on there. The behind-the-scenes stuff, when I'm doing research in real time, I drop stuff in there for those guys to see as well. So a lot of cool stuff going on there. And if not, the best way that you can support is just leaving a like, subscribing, commenting on the video. So I appreciate you guys checking this out, and I will see y'all in the next one.